As far as I'm concerned, Okpebholo has delivered on his promise. Okpebholo was very vocal on national television when he promised Edo people insecurity. And faithfully, Edo State has, since he's been sworn in, been thrown into a tumultuous state where bedlam is let loose on our streets on a daily basis. The insecurity is so pervasive that you even have his own security network that he set up going out on an insurrection against government. The health sector going out on a strike against government's policy. Market women on a daily basis on our streets blocking major highways against the horrendous policies being visited on them by the government in place. Drivers' unions on our streets going out on a daily basis protesting against the kind of oppression that the policy of the government has put in place. And even to collect government revenue, which is supposed to be a civilized automated process as left by Godwin Obaseki, we now have to hire an atalakpa, which in Edo's translation means tiger, to enforce collection of revenue, because we are in a state where jungle justice is the only language we understand. So, Okpebholo has delivered on his promise. The promise was, I will visit you with insecurity. If you check all the cables from Dawson Junction and maybe further down to Ugbowo, the wires of the electric cables that provide us street lights have all been cut. Because now what you have on the streets is jungle agents raining in the day and then terrorizing at night. That is the state of anomy which we have found ourselves. Dr. Andrew probably did not go round shortly before Obaseki left office. And that is why he thinks that the Teboga road that Obaseki constructed, which Okpebholo quickly ran there after he was sworn in to try and lay ownership to, that he's the one constructing it. And that is why he thinks that all the other projects like the Technical School Road, which is known to all, that Obaseki started and was constructing both the road on Ajoni Street, is attributing it to Okpebholo. I am looking for, and the reason why I'm not surprised not to see, is because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a structured manifesto and a structured action plan for a state, how are you going to be able to carry out projects? You don't have a plan guiding you. So what we hear is every analyst who is going to talk about Okpebholo has his own manifesto and what he thinks Okpebholo says he's going to do. If you bring another analyst here, that has a different agenda. And that's why the state cannot say we are holding you responsible to this. The only one he promised he has fulfilled, which is violence. So the governor has no direction. He has broken down all institutions of technology that he met. We delivered to Okpebholo a 3-tier data center that has 1.5 terabyte in government house. We delivered to him e-governance, automated and operating by technology. We delivered to him 3,000 kilometers fiber optics. We delivered to him cyber security on all Edo State data. All of those technological structure that he met on ground and IT structure that he met on ground, they are not operating them today. Now, he's talking about schools. Where has he found money to repair so many schools, as you are saying? New Era was started to be repaired by Oshomole, who built halls and left classrooms. When Obaseki came, Obaseki said you cannot just build halls because you use it for activities of making money and you have left classrooms. Obaseki started to revamp New Era. I'm surprised that he's attributing that to Okpebholo. So the point is, the man has nothing. He came with a vendetta to attack all Obaseki's projects. He came with a whim to rule from, offhand, from the whim and caprice of his mind. And so what we have today is a depiction of the kind of cognitive retardedness that is governing our state. That's what our state has become. Night has been thrown back into darkness. Everywhere is dark now in the city. He cannot sustain the street light he meant because the agility with which to fund power supply for those street lights is absent. Okay. We find a governor who comes out with different letters and different signatures. And both signatures read underneath HE, the governor of Edo State. And two signatures are different. So how can a man who cannot even sign signature properly, whose signature is irregular, deliver on anything? All right, thank you. What we have is a state of anomy. That's what we have in Edo State right now. We need to put the records.
So you guys have listened to Christopher Ojeikere, a political analyst, analyzing the 100 days of distinguished Senator Okpebholo in office. The problem is the administration, the current administration, has failed to admit that they are still living under the glory of past administration, because some of the schools and roads that they say they have done was actually done by Obaseki. And what they did is commissioning. And I have no problem with that because I believe governance is continual. But you also need to admit it. There's no problem if you continue from where Obaseki stopped. But don't rubber stamp Obaseki. Don't say things as if he has done nothing. The administration of distinguished Senator Okpebholo has been on the neck of Obaseki. But Obaseki have laid a good foundation for this administration to strive. And that is the only thing we expect them to strive. Obaseki said it from the onset that he wants to lay a foundation that if he is out of office, another administration can take over and build on their legacy. That was why a transition committee was established in order to embrace them with the happiness of governance for 8 years so that they can continue from where they stop. But all we see is that fighting a good legacy that have been set on ground. So you have just seen a political analyst analyzing the 100 days of distinguished Senator Okpebholo. All we see is insecurity. Now the insecurity is a little bit lesser, maybe because of what is happening at the tribunal. Maybe because of the shock that is happening at the tribunal. Many of them, they have, as in shield, their shade, as in they have sheathed their sword. They have sheathed their sword. It's time for them to think on how to write their final address. At least they can think for a moment. Thank you, my people. That is the 100 days of distinguished Senator Okpebholo. Thank you.